Morning guys and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm coming to you from MSC World Europa, which is one of the newest cruise ships from MSC. Now if you haven't found my channel before, then hello, I'm Fraser, and for the rest of 2023 I am going to be cruising the world as a passenger on cruise ships, which is very exciting. I can't wait to hopefully take you guys with me on as many of those trips as possible. So if you'd like to subscribe and come along on the journey, then that would be brilliant. You can do that just under the video. But today I'm going to be showing you what a day at sea looks like on a brand new MSC ship. Before I came on here, I didn't really know what to expect because it only launched a couple of months ago and I don't actually know anyone that's been on here before. So it was definitely entering a little bit of uncharted water for me. I usually like to do quite a lot of research on a ship before I can get on it, but I just wasn't able to watch a lot of other people's videos, for example, from this one, just due to the fact that she's really new. Now, today is kicking off relatively late, as a sea day for me always does. I have a belief, I think my mum gave me the belief years ago, that sometimes you just have to go to bed and not set an alarm and your body will wake up naturally when it's ready to wake up. Now, I nearly do that. I set an alarm for midday just because I'm terrified that I'll sleep all the way through and wake up at 11 p.m. But the time now is 11:10 and I've not just woken up, don't worry, but I'm up, showered and ready to go, which is just as well because my first event of the day is at 11:15, so we'll leave for that shortly and I'll fill you in on what that is in a minute. Now, on a day at sea, or on any day on an MSC ship, World Europa included, you get, on a lot of ships, you get a daily schedule, which is just one bit of paper that comes with a sort of grid on it with times and events all the way through the day. Now, MSC give you quite a lot of paperwork every day, so this is like a booklet that you receive every day, and it's called the Daily Programme. You can already see, as I'm doing that, there's paper trying to ease its way out of the bottom. This is basically where they also put any adverts for the day. So we'll get that one out the way first. The advert today is for the laundry service, so if you need to get any laundry done, then yeah, they'll happily sponge you for that. But anyway, so daily schedule, when you open it up inside, you've basically got a little bit about your day on the front. So this says here that today is going to be a minimum of 27 degrees and a maximum of 30. So for anyone that doesn't know, we're cruising in the Middle East at the moment, which is why it's so hot for the end of March. It tells you about your next port, it gives you your nautical information, and then also kind of today's highlights to tell you, okay, tonight, try and dress elegant. Inside, you then go on to look at offers in the shops, entertainment highlights, and also some shore excursion information coming up. And then on the back page, this is probably the most important one, to be honest. On the back page, you've got your opening hours and your deck locations of absolutely every venue on board. So if you're not overly comfortable with the ship, then that bit of paper is very useful, let me tell you, because there's nothing worse than going to the buffet at midday thinking you can get your breakfast and it's shut at 11:30. And yeah, so just make sure you read that one. Now, the bit that I always tend to hone in on these videos is the daily planner. So two different things, the daily programme and the daily planner. So the daily planner is just like, I guess, any other cruise line's schedule that has got like the hour by hour breakdown and the locations and the venues and stuff of what's on that day. So you can see on here, there is quite a lot on here. I have found over the last couple of sea days, because today is sea day 4 of 4, so we've already had 3 before. Now, I have found that, to be honest, there's been a kind of limited number of things that I would want to get involved in, but that's not really bothered me that much because I'm deliberately trying to chill out. Now, from a solo point of view, which is what I am on this ship, they've got a solo traveller meetup every single day at 6 p.m, which is great, and it's actually on the schedule every single day at 6, which I really like. So today, I don't really know what we're going to get up to today, but I'll pop a picture of this on the screen for you now to pause and have a look at if you like. And other than that, we're going to head out to our first event of the day, which I have left a bit of paper for here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so I have told you guys before in my Virtuosa videos about the Voyagers Club, which they've delivered a few things for that last night, so I'm going to come back to the room after breakfast and show you guys that and talk to you a bit in more detail. But the Voyagers programme is basically like the loyalty programme or the loyalty club for MSC. My biggest bit of advice with anyone that's going on a cruise is just join the loyalty club, because you get little perks, I guess, that most other passengers don't get. So it's worth it in my opinion. You also get discounts on future cruises, which is definitely worth it. But today, the event that we are going to today is a welcome back cocktail. So we are going down to, well, deck 8 aft, which is the back of the World Promenade. I'm not entirely sure if it will be there though, because at the moment we're sailing through like the Gulf of Aden, and I thought that area was still closed, but it may have been this morning that it reopened. So yeah, this is basically just a welcome back cocktail with the captain. I think they do a little speech about MSC while you're down there, and it's usually quite a nice way to just chill out, meet a few people. The only thing I am hoping, and my friends would disown me for saying this, but 11:15 a.m. feels a little bit early for a cocktail, so I really hope they have either non-alcoholic equivalents or they could do me a coffee for that. It seems odd that it would be a welcome back cocktail at 11:15 in the morning rather than like a pre-dinner cocktail at 6 p.m. But I guess it's probably just because dinner times are so staggered on this ship that some people have dinner way up until 9 p.m. They probably couldn't do that. But anyway, yeah, we are going to head down to the back of deck 8 now, actually, because I'm going to be late as usual. And yeah, enjoy a cocktail, and I'll come back to the room after breakfast and talk to you guys a little bit about the Voyagers Club and also the plan for today. So yeah, let's head out. Okay, so hopefully you can tell, but that's me now back in the cabin, and one thing that I would say to just start on wrapping up on that cocktail party, that was the busiest Voyagers Club event I've ever seen. I expected to open that door, and I thought we'd be all the way down at the bottom, and I thought it would maybe just be like the back corner that was roped off, but they basically had to rope off the entire World Promenade because there was hundreds and hundreds of people there. Now, it turns out I actually got a little bit confused in my mind with what that was going to be. Now, when I was last on Virtuosa, they had it was like a diamond only welcome back, but the one today was just a full MSC Voyagers Club. Now, what that means is that basically anyone that's ever cruised with MSC before is invited along, so that would explain why there was so many people there. So I'm actually kind of hoping that they do a diamond only one, because it's quite nice at that to meet, I guess, people that have been on quite a lot of MSC ships, and you can have a really good conversation with them. And it's a lot easier to speak to like some of the senior officers and things like that. So hopefully there'll be a diamond one later in the week. But yeah, what I did want to talk to you about, because I recently covered this in a Virtuosa video, but there's been a couple of changes in how the Voyagers Club works that I just wanted to run through before heading out on the ship with you for the day. So, as you know, there's a couple of different membership tiers that you get, and I noticed on this cruise that there's a fifth tier, which I hadn't actually noticed before, so I don't know if that's new or if that's just that it wasn't a thing when I joined. But basically, the 5 tiers, you've got like an orange tier, which is called a welcome tier. You've got blue, which is classic. You've then got a silver tier, a gold tier, and then a diamond tier. Now, if you join the club, every time that you cruise and every time you buy certain things on board, you accrue points. And each of those levels has got a different point structure. So I think to get to diamond, you need to have 10,000 or more points. Now, the really clever thing that a lot of people don't realise is that MSC offer a really, really good status match programme where if you are quite high up on another loyalty programme with another cruise line, MSC will match it so that you'll get all the benefits that you would get as a Diamond member, despite the fact that you maybe haven't done enough cruises to get 10,000 points, which is what you need to get on here. Now, in my case, so I am a Diamond member with MSC, but I haven't been cruising with MSC for years and years and years in order to get the 10,000 points. The way that I got it relatively quickly, actually, was that I status matched from my high tier Princess Cruises loyalty, which therefore made me, I think it actually did bring me across as a diamond straight away. Now, are you getting free cruises? Are you getting £900 onboard credit every time you cruise? Absolutely not. But the things you do get are really useful. So as a diamond member, you get discounts when you book future cruises. You get a speciality dinner on board every single time that you cruise. You get a couple of little gifts delivered to your cabin, which these actually got delivered last night. I just didn't eat or drink them because, to be honest, I wasn't really in the mood. But to show you what's arrived, so I showed you this previously on Virtuosa. I really like this idea. So this is a little chocolate bar, which, I mean, when you open it, it's actually just a bar of chocolate on the inside. But the way that this has been branded is just, it's such a nice touch, and I actually quite like to keep these. But yeah, so you've got a nice bar of dark chocolate. It's branded with the ship on it, which is really nice. Now, the next thing that came was actually a little bit different to what I've seen get delivered before. And usually you get like a tray or a plate of macaroons delivered by room service, and that goes with like a bottle of Prosecco or a bottle of like sparkling wine. But this time what's come is like, and I really think you could probably do a better job of presenting this, especially considering the fact I'm now tilting it to the camera, so hopefully it's not all going to fall off the plate. But you basically get like 3 little chocolate snacks, 3 little, what I'd probably call them like Turkish delight type things, and then 2 little meringue and chocolate snacks. So, I mean, they are nice because they're a little bit different, and if you don't like macaroons, then yeah, you've got 3 different things to pick from. I don't think they present very well on a plate for room service. You do arrive back at your room and think, okay, what do we do with these? Now, the last thing that you get is probably my favourite, especially when I don't have the drinks package. Now, you also get a bottle of Prosecco, which I think is a really nice touch. And on previous ships that I've been on, they give you a bottle of sparkling wine, which I'm not a big fan of sparkling wine, but I do really like Prosecco. So that's actually a really big win for me. Now, what I would say, just to close off this part of this video, is that if you are considering a cruise or if you've got one booked already, make sure that you are a member of whatever loyalty programme that cruise line has. For the sake of filling out a form online, even if it is little benefits, like you even just feel a little bit more looked after at times on these programmes. Double that with the fact that if I go and make a booking on board, I'll get 5% off if I travel more than 12 months out from now, just due to the fact that I'm in that club. So little benefits like that are really, really good. And if you have a look and see what every cruise line offers you, they're all so different. So I'm cruising with Virgin later this year, and because I'll be spending the whole year at sea, one of the things that's really important to me is that I need to know how to get laundry done, which that's going to be a whole other palaver on this ship because they're charging $30 or €30 for a bag of laundry, which to me just seems ridiculous. So I'm going to be getting off in Barcelona and trying to find a laundrette, which, yeah, wish me luck on that one, but yeah, that's going to be my life for the next couple of months. But on Virgin, they'll actually do all my laundry for me because of what my loyalty tier will be on board. So yeah, it's just worth having a look because there are some benefits which actually are just really, really useful to have. But yeah, so enough about Voyagers Club, and this isn't a sales pitch, I absolutely promise that. But yeah, the plan for the rest of today. So I said earlier there's not a huge amount going on today that I'm that bothered in taking part in, which isn't really, it's not a bad thing, it's just, yeah, that might annoy some people. I just really enjoy my own company on a sea day and just pottering around the ship. Now, what I'm going to do is head down to the tea lounge on board. So I think it's called the Polo Tea Lounge. And quite a few of you guys on Instagram had messaged when you found out I was coming on here to say, oh, you have to go and try the tea lounge. It's so good. The experience is great. So it's actually quite rare that so many people would reach out and say, try this, try that. And everyone tends to land on the same recommendation. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this place is. And hopefully it lives up to the recommendations that have been given. Otherwise, quite a few of you might have something to answer for. But I went down yesterday and had a look, and it looks like a really nice environment. They've got a piano in the corner. You can go in and order like teapots, cups of tea, and it looks as though they have hundreds of different types of tea from all around the world. So one thing I do know is that if you guys remember Laura, who I did Alaska with last year, that is a venue that she would absolutely kill to have on every single cruise ship. So I will go and sample that for us and tell you, I guess, if it's any good. I'll take you with me and hopefully catch up with you when we're down there. But there's probably enough chat in the cabin for now. Let's get out and about around this ship and do a bit of exploring. So just in the tea lounge at the moment, and the excellent thing with this venue is that during the day it's so quiet. So it's currently like 2 p.m. and I'm the only person in here, which is brilliant. So I'll give you a quick look round now so that you can appreciate just how quiet it is. I have got a table in the far corner right beside the piano, which isn't being played, and it is just so peaceful in here. Now, this ship doesn't actually have a library on it, but this is one part of the ship that I would say if you bring a book with you, you can just come in here and totally lose yourself for a few hours, sipping tea. What could be better? Now, quite a few people that follow this channel have commented in the last few months to ask about how does it actually work when you go into restaurants, and this one is really easy actually from a venue perspective. So everywhere on MSC you go in and they've got these like QR codes all over the place. So there's one on every single table in here. You literally scan this, the menu comes up, and then someone comes over and you can place the order. So it's really, really straightforward. I have gone for, so I love like a peppermint tea. I have gone for, I think it's a green tea with mint. So very intrigued because I usually hate green tea. However, I'm willing to give this one a go because apparently it's very nice. So turns out they have 27 different teas. I think I previously mentioned this was on deck 7. It's actually not, it's on deck 8. So it's on that upper floor of the 3-storey atrium. They've also got an outside terrace, which I'll show you shortly, but there are some people out there. But to be honest, after 2 or 3 days in the sun, I am quite happy to have a day inside. And it looks as though every other passenger is opted for the decks today. So yeah, inside the ship, it turns out this is what it's to be. But yeah, I'm just going to sit back, chill for a bit here, and hopefully just shortly my tea will come over with, I've been promised, 2 shortbread cookies, so just what I need, more snacks. So I'm going to sign out now, and I will show you the tea when it arrives. Okay, so I was probably in there for about an hour, and about 40 minutes in, someone came in and started playing the piano, so I am now the most chilled out that I've been in ages. Really recommend that. That cost me €6 for a cup of tea, really nice experience, and actually you can try loads of different flavours that you've probably never ever heard of before. My plan now, so I am now heading, as you can probably tell at the moment, back along that kind of triple floored Galleria, I guess they call it on the other MSC ships. So back along here, along to the back of Deck 8, which is that big outdoor street, I guess, to hopefully get some ice cream. So one thing that surprised me actually on MSC is that you can't actually get complimentary or included ice cream in any of the venues. Now you can get it at dinner sometimes, but it's not really that great in the dining room. Your options, you've got a chocolatier on board that does ice cream. You can get it by the pool, by the scoop, or they've got like an ice cream parlour at the back of Deck 8 that you can go to. So hopefully that's been reopened and I can take you guys in and show you what it's like. Okay, so I've managed to get a table in here, no bother. Actually, there's, two other people in here, and they are, like, way up the other end. So I actually feel as though I've got the place to myself, which is good. Now, first impressions in here are really good, actually. So, it's €7 for, like, a build your own sundae, and that lets you select 3 flavours and 3 toppings. So I've gone for stracciatella ice cream, caramel ice cream, and vanilla ice cream. And toppings wise, I've gone for white chocolate flakes, Oreo crumb, and sprinkles, and then they're going to top it off with whipped cream. So I don't think this is the calorie-free venue that I've opted for today, nor have I chosen the healthy option, but I'll let you see what it looks like when it comes over to the table. Now, as I said earlier, there's a couple of different options for ice cream on here. The alternative to here, yeah, you've got the chocolate shop, fine, but on the pool deck, I think from memory, it was like €3 or €4 for an ice cream up there yesterday when I was looking. So to get a full sundae for €7 down here actually seems absolutely fine. But my plan for now is I am going to chill out with this absolute cracker of a view behind at the moment, and I'll let you guys see what this ice cream looks like when it comes over to the table. Okay, so ice cream has arrived, and I think this has gone pretty well. If I can turn this down to show you. So this is what's arrived. I can pretty much guarantee that this is not calorie free. I also think, shockingly, this is the kind of dessert that you'd probably get to share with someone. However, that's probably one of the perks of being a solo traveller, that there isn't anyone to share with. So I guess it would be rude to leave some, so I'm gonna go get started. Also very funny how small the spoon is considering how big this is, and I will see all of you on the other side. Okay, so ice cream done, and I am now up on the top deck. So they're in the process now of putting all the loungers away and getting set up for the night. And the nicest thing about tonight is that the lights are back on. So for the last 2 nights, we've been in an area considered at risk of like piracy or pirate attacks. So all of the lights on all of the decks have been off, and it's been a bit weird and a little bit eerie, to be perfectly honest. So it's good to see that the ship is returning to normal, the venues are back open, the lights are on, which I never thought I'd see the day that the lights wouldn't be allowed to be on a cruise ship. But yeah, so that feels good. Anyway, recapping on this afternoon, tea lounge, I've already told you, big fan. Ice cream shop, I think, yeah, for €7, it actually is worth it. Like, I think a lot of people with MSC, you have to remember that, you know the phrase, you get what you pay for. So with MSC, you generally find that you will pay less to come on a cruise with these guys than what you will pay for Royal Caribbean. Certainly this year, my Royal Caribbean cruises are way more expensive than on a night-by-night basis than what my MSC ones are. And if that means that I don't get ice cream included, and if that means that I need to pay extra for a couple of things that I'd usually get for free with an American line, then fine, because I guess they do that because not everyone wants ice cream. People would rather get the cheaper fare. So yeah, I do think it's worth it, and I think, yeah, you just have to remember, before you get too upset about it, you just have to remember that you haven't, generally speaking, paid the full whack for your MSC cruise. They generally do offer a more budget-friendly base fare. Now, anyway, my plan for tonight, I want to catch up with you properly down in the cabin, because tonight is elegant night on here, so I'll have a bit of a chat with you about what that means on an MSC ship, because it's a little bit different to formal night on a more traditional ship. And yeah, time now is quarter past 6, which is great because the solo traveller meetup is at 6 o'clock. So naturally, by my usual standards, I am running a little bit behind schedule. However, not a problem, because that solo traveller thing is just like everyone just meeting up for a drink. So I'll head down there, see what the chat is, and then head back to the room to get ready for dinner. There's a few other things going on tonight, a couple of shows that I'm planning to get to. So yeah, I will sign off here as the sun goes down, and I will see you down in the cabin just shortly. Okay, so that's Solo Traveller Meetup done, and I am about to start getting ready for dinner. So what I would say from a solo point of view on this ship is that, yes, it's good in the respect that the Solo Traveller catch-ups take place every night, they're on the daily schedule, so you know when they are. The group of people that are going, there's quite a good group, so I think, it was a lot less tonight, there was only 6 of us down there. But previous nights has been like 20, which is great, and it's real evidence that there are solo travellers on ships, which is great. But the one thing that MSC are, I really hope they're not taking a back step on. I really, really hope, because it's one thing that they've been so good at up until now. In the dining room, I've been at a table on my own for the whole cruise up until now, and we're now on, I think, I should know, but I think we're now on day 9, and yeah, I was just beginning to lose the will at dinner a little bit, because I can suffer my own company for 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 nights, but after that, I do struggle to sit in a dining room full of loads of other people talking with just no ability to have a conversation, especially when the table I was at, I was surrounded by like Italian speakers, Spanish speakers, which that's absolutely not their fault. It's absolutely nothing that they've done wrong. It's my problem for not speaking their language, but it would be really good to have the option to go on like a shared table. And funnily enough, at the solo meetup tonight, there was actually like a mother and daughter who said that they came along to just try and meet more people, because they were kind of fed up of the company that they had just at a table for 2. So they actually really seemed to miss the shared table element as well. Now, it's really sad actually to see that solos aren't being put at a dinner table on this cruise. I really hope that's a one-off, and I hope that it's just because this is a grand voyage rather than that's the new norm from MSC, because I think it does usually really, really help. Now, later this year, I will be on MSC Meraviglia out of New York, and I cannot wait to see what the solo proposition looks like on there, because I'm hoping that on that ship, it looks significantly more like what I've seen on Virtuosa out of Southampton, which, yeah, has just been a lot more supportive for solos. But hey, look, enough of a gripe from me. We should probably just recap on tonight. So my plan now, I thought I was going to go to 2 shows tonight, but the booking system has been a little bit problematic. So the way it works on here when you book a show is that you have to go to these huge screens that are in, they're all over the ship, so they're on every single floor. I'll put a little clip of one on now, but they're on every floor by the elevators, they're by most of the venues, and you essentially use those screens to book into your entertainment for the night. So I this morning booked into the show tonight at 7:45 and also the show tonight at 11 o'clock, knowing that I would then have dinner sandwiched in between there about 8:30. Unfortunately, the booking for the first show has failed, and the booking for the second show also failed, but luckily, because it's 11 p.m, I've been able to rebook onto that because it's not been overly popular. So my booking at the earlier show has gone, unfortunately. So I'm down to one show, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means I've got a little bit of downtime that I can, well, I say downtime that I can chill out. The reality is I have totally lost track of time today. My formal shirt is hanging up there, and I'm actually running out of time now before I'm late for dinner. So it's probably a blooming good thing that I didn't get a ticket to that other show. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to talk to you guys. So yeah, plan is that I will head to dinner and then I'll head to the second show. So it should be a fairly chilled night. I would also really like to stop by the British pub on here, which is called Master of the Seas. Now, if you've been on Meraviglia or Meraviglia Plus class, then you will be familiar with that pub. It's usually at the top floor of the Galleria. And on here, it's in that Galleria section, the World Galleria they call it, in here, I think. I'm sure that is what they call it. It's on the middle floor on this ship because that Galleria has got 3 levels on here. And the really quirky thing about that pub on this ship is that they actually brew their own beer in it. So when you look in, they've got like the huge big tanks where they actually brew the beer, which, yeah, apparently they also use ocean water to turn that into beer. So there's quite a few things there that I'd be willing to try. And yeah, hopefully, either in between dinner and the second show, the only show for me, or just after that show, I'm going to swing by the pub and see how that beer tastes, which I'll fill you in on that tomorrow because I'm very, very intrigued. But look, for now, I guess this is probably the last time I'll speak to you tonight. I will take you out and I will show you a little bit about what Elegant Night looks like on here, just because I think it's a little bit less formal than what I've seen on more traditional ships, but I guess you can be the judge based on what you see from my camera. I will take you out and about, but I probably won't have time now to come back and kind of recap on dinner and recap on shows. So from now, it'll either be a voiceover or I'll just leave you with some clips. But I hope that you're enjoying this series. This cruise has been really quite different for me. Tomorrow morning, we dock in Saudi Arabia, which is Jeddah, is the city that we're visiting, which I'm nervous about docking tomorrow, mostly due to the fact that I don't know if my visa is actually going to permit me to get off the ship. So my Jeddah episode of this series might actually be a what do we do if you get stranded on the ship, your import episode. So watch this space and you'll find out about that. But hey, look, for now, I'll catch up with you all soon. But feel free to like the video below, that'd be brilliant. And also click subscribe, and it'd be great to have you along on the journey. But yeah, catch up soon. Cheers, guys.